On WHOW's many platforms on the radio or online. Join me, Stu Ellis, for the Farm Gate.
Hey, this is Todd Gleason from Illinois Extension here with a time change for our daily market report on WHOW. You can now catch our daily review of the commodity markets at 5:06 on all of WHOW's many platforms. You'll still hear all of our commodity analysts and weather professionals each afternoon, but at a brand new time. And you'll still hear the weekly wrap-up of the commodity markets right here on WHOW when Commodity Week airs Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. Remember the time change for the daily closing market report on WHOW at our new time, 5:06 p.m. weekdays.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio today, John Williamson, DNR Conservation Police Captain. Good morning, Captain.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm well. How was your holidays? Good holidays?
Great holidays. Stayed well. Didn't get sick like seemed like everybody else did. So I'm in good shape.
I woke up with the flu on Christmas morning.
I've heard a lot of people do that. Where's wood? I need to knock on it. Since
Miserable.
I made a comment. But no, I stayed healthy. Everybody stayed healthy around the house, so it was good.
Miserable Christmas, John.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to do it again. I just hate being sick. I hate being sick.
Yes.
Do you hate being sick?
I hate being sick.
I hate being sick. All right, John, let's talk. We've got a lot to dive into today, believe it or not. Harvest, the hunting season has wrapped up, so folks need to turn in their harvest card.
Yes.
Correct?
So we've got some seasons that are still wrapping up and that sort of thing. But if you have a harvest card from any of our state sites, if you were in a special hunt at one of our state sites, you were required to have a harvest card. And those harvest cards need to be turned in by February 15th. So
What's a harvest card?
It basically, so a while back, with the money we get from the federal government, they wanted to have record of how many hunter hours and how many people were using our state sites, everything. And some of our funding is based on that. So we came up with these harvest cards that gives you the ability to have a card in your windshield to know that you are registered, know that you're supposed to be there on those sites. And then you're supposed to record the amount of hunts that you had in an area, what you hunted, and what your harvest was. So we could use that to track our how much use we're getting on our public lands, and then we turn that in the federal government to help get us more money.
So basically, instead of you doing the paperwork, you're making your hunters do the paperwork.
Well, it's just paperwork that I couldn't do for the hunters. I'm not going to check them every time they're in the field. So this way we get a more accurate count, more accurate. Thanks for trying to push that off of me not doing my job.
Excuses, John.
Anyway,
Gosh.
we can't be at every site, everything all the time. So basically this is a way for them to track those, and they just need to be turned in by February 15th, because if they don't turn them in, they can get to where they cannot go back and use the site the next year.
So it's a mandatory thing.
So it is mandatory, yes.
Gotcha. Yep. All right, so put that on the radar of things to do. Still a good amount of time to do that, but get it done and get that in. Very good. So when it comes to the hunter reports, has that been a long-standing thing, or is that, it sounds relatively new?
We've done it in certain ways for a long time.
Okay.
Probably within the last 5 to 10, we've gone to these windshield harvest cards at most of the sites, and I think within the last 5, it's been all sites have gone to the windshield harvest card. So it's slowly been creeping up for this system.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a few sites we still have that you have a daily sign in, sign out, but most of them have gone to these harvest cards. So most hunters that have been around are used to it and know it. But just want to make that reminder, because we don't want to see them lose their privileges.
You mentioned things are wrapping up in terms of the hunting seasons. What has wrapped up recently? What's still going on right now?
We've for most of the state, the shotgun deer, any of the firearm deer seasons are now over, but we've got just a few counties that have the CWD season or late antler season that'll still be going on till January 15th. Archery season for deer is open till archery season for deer is open until January 15th. So there's your deer hunting. Pheasant season for around here is going to end on January 8th.
Okay.
Pheasant, rabbit, squirrel goes to February 15th. So things are coming towards the end. Duck season wrapped up just I think December 27th. Goose season goes till the end of January. So just all these little things are coming around, but the 2022-23 hunting season is kind of coming to an end.
So really, really, really dumb question, like dove, pheasant, duck, is that considered waterfowl? Is that part of like the waterfowl season?
Duck and goose is considered a waterfowl.
Okay.
Dove is its own separate season. It's a
Okay.
migratory bird, but it's not a waterfowl.
Oh, okay.
Pheasant is a upland bird. It's not considered a migratory bird at all.
Okay, gotcha. So what's been good hunting with those this year?
It's been sounds like it's been a decent year for everything. We had some mild weather there for a while, so the ducks didn't migrate. We've always talked about this Clinton Lake. It takes really cold weather to get the birds to move, and what we have right there at the end of duck season was finally had that really
Cold
brutal
weather,
cold.
yeah.
And we got a lot of ducks and geese. They're still hanging around, so they're around the lake right now. But
Gotcha.
that's what it takes for it to get good. But west of here, along the Mississippi, along the Illinois rivers, it seems, from what I've heard, it's been a pretty decent duck season.
So are you able to like go out onto Clinton Lake and like and shoot a shotgun from there for waterfowl, or like the Illinois River, like these big bodies of water around us?
Is there going to be certain places you can and can't? Some places designated refuges, some not.
Right.
Like at Clinton Lake, it's probably the easiest to talk about here. There's certain areas that we limit the hunting, like between the Route 48 and the DeWitt Bridge. That's considered a refuge area, fish and waterfowl refuge. So
is that just because of the warm water?
Because of the warm water, absolutely. So that's a refuge area up towards the plant. All the way back to West Side Access is a refuge kind of there. Just
don't want people shooting around
because of the plant, that sort of thing. But on the open areas, you can waterfowl hunt right on the lake.
Okay, interesting, very good.
Yep.
Now, I'm sure many hunters, they're seasoned, they know these things, but what should they keep in mind as they're hunting on the lake?
Just the safety things for us, make sure that you have all your boat equipment. Just because you're duck hunting doesn't mean that you don't have to have your life jackets. You have to fire extinguisher, that sort of thing. So
right.
Make sure your duck boats are ready to go. And it's probably even more important that time of year when you're duck hunting to wear your life jacket all the time, because you go in the water with that cold water. You're not. Your ability to stay swimming is a lot less than what it would be during the summer, that sort of thing. So
yeah,
it's always one of those things we want to make sure that they're realizing that they need to take extra precautions when that water's cold.
DNR Captain John Williamson in studio with us today. Is the lake frozen? Is it cold?
No, it was. It with that huge cold snap, it was probably frozen. Not quite as much as I've ever seen it, but pretty close.
Really?
Yeah, there was actually some ice coming off the 48 bridge into the hot water section of the lake, which you don't see that very often. That
it was that cold, huh?
Yeah, it was that cold. So basically, there were no open ramps on Clinton Lake. Everything, even Muscootin ramp, closed up, which that's usually one that'll hold off, and you can use it at least to get up towards the DeWitt Bridge. But it was all frozen in there for a few days.
Holy smokes! How quickly? Because it was cold for, I don't know, a week, maybe 10 days at most. Like really, really cold. How long does it take to freeze?
We'll see. We're gonna go back in the memory banks because we've talked about this before. What's the besides the temperature, what's the biggest factor in the lake freezing?
Wind.
There you go.
Yes.
And what came with all that cold weather?
Wind.
Yeah. So a lot of it didn't freeze. It was -2, and a lot of the lake wasn't frozen. And it was pretty interesting to watch because Parnell, I live right near the Parnell access, and there was parts of that everything else, almost that whole section is froze, but there's parts of it that are still open, and you can see waves on those because almost 30-mile-an-hour winds.
Right.
We're keeping it open. As soon as the wind dropped below 10 miles an hour, it
froze
immediately, just locked up.
Really?
Yeah. So you can watch that if you're out, and I've been out when it's been like 5 degrees and that wind's blowing, and there's nothing, it's water staying open. I've been duck hunting in it. It's all fine. Then that wind drops down, and you can watch the ice start freezing around your decoys.
Really?
Start building out. It's
wow.
really crazy to see, but it's that turbulence and that wind motion just keeps it from
freezing.
Yeah.
I learned that in chemistry back in high school.
There you go.
You stir like the freezing cold, like the 32-degree water, but it doesn't
See?
freeze. Yeah.
See?
We learned about that. I don't even remember what the lesson was for.
I didn't know I was doing a chemistry experiment while I was out there duck hunting.
John, I was thinking as you were talking there, like I feel like I'm back in school where you're testing me, and I'm feeling good about myself because I'm getting the answers
You're doing
right.
Good. You're doing good.
I'm 3 minutes away from failure though, so that's just my life's motto. When it comes to the just ice fishing though, like today, like temperatures right around freezing, we're going to kind of hover in this area for several days. It looks like will the lake freeze at all? Does it have to get bitterly cold to freeze?
Clinton Lake will not freeze. You may get like the extreme North Fork end or extreme Parnell end to freeze, but with all the warm weather we've had, I wouldn't trust any of the ice around when we've had 3 or 4 days of above freezing and up to 60 degrees. I'm sure that ice is getting really webby and wouldn't be very good to be on. So
yeah.
Just really be cautious about any ice now. When it freezes back up, I'm sure there was 5-6 inches ice made in no time with the weather we had.
Yeah.
As cold as it got.
Wow.
But right
Yeah.
now, I'm sure it's in really bad condition.
Do you know guys that go like north, like like short, like northern Illinois,
In
like
Northern Illinois, Wisconsin,
Minnesota?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of guys do that.
Really?
Yeah.
So just ice fishing in general, if they're making the trip up there for those types of things, what do they need to know? Like, talk to us about safety.
If you're going to a normal, they say normal size lake that you can see across, that sort of thing, it's basically the same thing we have here. Just watch your weather, see what's going on. If it's been freezing and thawing, be really cautious of that ice. Make sure, have that life jacket on as you're walking across the ice. Again, people think that's kind of crazy, but you know what? There's different springs can happen, everything else, thin that ice out.
Right.
Make sure you have ice picks. Those little, off your sleeves, there's a string that runs across them. They're out by your hand, so if you fall in, you can reach up and pull yourself out, that sort of thing.
Oh, cool.
Just dress for the weather, and
sure.
And the other part is be prepared at your truck. What if you somehow you accidentally go in the water, have some clothes there that you can change into, that sort of thing, and stay dry.
Yeah.
But what's neat about some of those places, they go on some of those big lakes, like Lake Erie, different places, like these huge lakes, they go out and they have to drive around ice flows and everything where ice crashes together and makes, it's
Really?
a whole other experience. Yeah. You have to have GPS to get around on the ice and
No way.
and get to where you're getting. Yeah. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yep.
You like ice fishing?
It's okay. I'd like to go up north and try it on some of those bigger lakes. That sort of thing, and do something
right,
like that.
right.
But yeah. I mean, if I get a chance, but a lot of time when the ice is on, I'm doing other stuff. But yeah.
Do guys like fish for anything in particular when they're on the ice?
Panfish, so crappie, bluegill, and then a lot of guys, especially up in the northern areas, will fish for walleyes through the ice.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep.
Is there does the cold water bring out any specific fish, make any fish more active than say the summertime when it's thawed and stuff?
I don't know that they're really that more active. Eel pout or a calico fish, you should look that one up when you get there. They're one that get a little more active when it gets cold. Whitefish up in the extreme north. Around here, nothing is particularly that more active during the ice, but it's just a normal fish you usually catch.
Good stuff, John. Anything I missed on ice fishing, Clinton Lake, anything like that?
No, it's just right now with the cold weather, everything else, the hot water side of Clinton Lake, we're getting a lot of activity there. So just make sure those fishermen that are there are being courteous to others, because I guess there was about 40 to 50 cars on the DeWitt Bridge the other day with all the guys with it, and it was pretty much elbow to elbow, and we heard some arguments took place and that sort of thing. So be nice to each other, and pick up your trash, please.
Yeah.
Don't trash the bridges. We've been fighting that for years, and would hope that everybody can take care of their own area.
John, let's take a break here. Come back with some more. John Williamson, DNR Conservation Police Captain, our guest in studio. More to come with him on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.
At Covenant Animal Clinic, your hometown vet in Clinton, we're thanking all of our customers for another great year. Hi, this is Dr. Sue Stir. We want to thank our great customers this past year for trusting Covenant Animal Clinic to care for your pets. Click our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com to learn how we can serve you in the coming year.
By leveraging sustainable carbon management solutions like Navigator CO2's Heartland Greenway, ethanol facilities can make substantial progress toward carbon reduction objectives. Learn more on how they're partnering with ethanol producers across the Corn Belt. Click their icon at IllinoisFarmRadio.com.
Hey everybody, Buddy Wilson here, your new country financial agent in Clinton. We're all familiar with the 3 whats. What is it? What can you do for me? And what does it cost? At Country Financial, we can help you find the answers with insurance coverage to help you protect what matters the most, all at prices you can afford. While you're juggling work, kids, and keeping an eye on the future, we'll make sure we're one of the first ones there when you need us the most. Call me, Buddy Wilson, your newest country financial representative in Clinton, at 217-935-5620. Let's chat about your insurance needs today.
In addition to great radio marketing, the Miller Media Group now offers a full suite of digital marketing solutions. Our affordable programs include custom web design and SEO to help you get found on Google. Seeking more inbound web and store traffic? Our Facebook, YouTube, and geo-targeted marketing programs are all designed to make your cash register ring. To get started, call your Miller Media account manager or go to mmgdigitalnow.com. Miller Media Digital, where digital becomes local.
DeWitt County's #1 source for local news is on the air and online 24 hours a day. The latest local news stories are heard every hour on Central Illinois' news station, the Big 1520 AM and 92.3 FM WHOW. Stream live at DeWittDailyNews.com. They're also heard every hour on the station that's your easy choice, 95.9 FM WEZC. And to read the latest local news on your electronic device, including tablets, iPhones, and smartphones, go to DeWittDailyNews.com. DeWitt County's #1 source for local news is on the air, online 24 hours a day.
WHOW.
Once again, good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agent in Clinton. Again, John Williamson, DNR Conservation Police Captain, in studio with us. And John, this is getting a lot of buzz from what I understand, some new rifle laws in Illinois. So talk to us about what's going on.
Yeah, so in the way it is, it's confusing to a point, but it's, if you just take a basic understanding of it's good. And you said at the break that I would be talking over your head. I will be talking over your head. That's part of this. So just so you know, I'm
going to do my best to keep up to you, John.
Keep up with this. So we've had a pistol law for quite a few years, so that you could use a single shot pistol, or a revolver, that sort of thing, for deer hunting. Basically, we've taken what was legal for the pistol, and now you can use it in a single shot rifle.
So what does that mean?
So what that means is that any rifle that you would use would have to meet the criteria, and that it can be single shot or be made to be only shooting single shot. So like an AR-15 pistol, you can make it legal by using a bobsled in the magazine that only allows you to shoot one shot in the magazine, or have no magazine at all. That way it's only shooting one round at a time. Or if
so conceivably you could take like an AR-15 out and hunt with it.
That's what I just said.
Whoa.
Yes. So there's a special thing that you can put in. It's called a bobsled. It only allows one round to be in the firearm at all. I've got one that I hunt with. And so you just need to make them sure they're single shot, whether it's a bolt action, whether it's whatever. If it is made where it can only hold one round, then you're going to be legal to use that as a rifle. Where it changes with the rifle. So the pistol categories, ammunition wise, you can use any straight wall cartridge or a bottleneck cartridge that the case is less than 1.3 inches.
Okay.
So like your 308, it's a bottleneck cartridge, but the case length is way too long. That's probably one of the more popular calibers that people would want to deer hunt with, but you cannot hunt with that caliber.
Why?
Because the case length is too long.
Why does the case length matter?
Because that will directly impact how much velocity that round will have and how far it will go. So what they're trying to do is use only calibers and ammunition that will have about the same effective range as most of your slug guns, but what they don't have to worry about it being super far reaching, where it could, basically go a mile and a half, go a long distance where it become a danger to people hunting other farms, other places, that sort of thing. So it's a safety factor that they're trying to do.
I see.
So basically, a lot of states have done this, have gone to these straight wall calibers. 350 Legend is probably one of the popular ones, 450 Bushmaster. But now that you've gone to straight wall in a rifle, pistols, you would never try to do it, but now a 45-70, which was the old Buffalo guns, legal, but it's really not a long range gun. So that's why it's still safe to use. So that's the main thing. If you have questions about this, visit our DNR website. Go down there. There's a section there. We can't list out all of them that would be legal. So it's got the parameters where it would be legal, because it's always changing. There's a new 360 Remington coming out that's going to be a straight wall cartridge. So we can't keep up with that. So just go there. It'll have a list of calibers that are legal. There's a reference to somebody privately put it together. Let us publish it so that people can see if they want to try to buy a weapon or get a new deer rifle, that sort of thing. But those are the parameters of it. We get a lot of questions about it. So that's that's why I wanted to bring it up today.
Believe it or not, I followed a lot
Did
of
you? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Like, I mean, I don't know all the guns specifically, but I
Right.
kind of followed the line of logic and all of
And
that.
you ask a very good question. But that's why is it's still a safety thing. We don't want somebody shooting 30-06s, bigger rifles, everything. Granted, they can hunt with a lot of these calibers or any bigger calibers when they're coyote hunting, say, but there's not,
the demand for
hundreds of thousands
Yeah.
of people in the woods when you're coyote hunting, so it's not
Right,
as big a
right.
problem.
Gotcha. Very good. So what did we miss on that? Anything you want to put out there?
No, basically, if there's any questions to it, check our website. Check
Mhm.
there. There's a lot of the calibers that are out there are listed there, whether they say they're legal or not, and whether they be good for deer hunting.
All right, easy enough. John, as we wrap up here for this morning, I'm racking my brain. Were we going to get to anything else specifically this morning? I can't, like, any cases going on. I know we
got a lot of cases that are going on. Nothing we can really talk about yet.
Okay.
That sort of thing. But
Yeah.
we've got some cases going on considering residency,
Mm.
tag issues.
Yeah.
The landowner tag system in Illinois is really nice. If you own land over 40 acres, you can get free tags. But now we start to do some investigation into that, and people that are getting these landowner tags for kids and wives and everything else, and they're going out using all those tags. That's not able to do. If the tag's issued in your name, you have to use it.
Gotcha. John, let's talk a little bit about just we talked ice fishing safety. Like snow falling today, we're probably not going to be able to get out with the snowmobiles. Do people around here snowmobile? Like, I've seen a few.
It's just we get it very rarely. We will have enough snow, that sort of thing. So
Okay.
with those sleds, just make sure that the brakes work. Make sure it has the lights work, the tail light and the headlight,
Mhm.
because those are being run a lot of times right along our roadways, that sort of stuff. So we want to make sure that they're legal. If you are running a snowmobile and you are running it in the ditches or all over across the roads, that sort of thing, you've got to have a valid driver's license
Mhm.
or a snowmobile safety card. So make sure have one of those and wear that helmet, make sure you're good there, and then have it registered. So pretty easy.
All right, John. Let's see. Anything else going on in your world? Like anything specific, like Clinton, DeWitt County,
No,
DNR in general?
We're kind of in that a little bit of a lull when we're trying to catch up on paperwork from all the rest of the year, kind of reload. And it's just like what we've had when that weather turns nice, all of a sudden our parks fill up, people hit the lake, that sort of thing. So we're just kind of in our lull about waiting on the weather to break and get busy again.
Is there like a common phone call you get when it's quiet? Like asking a question, reporting an issue?
This time of year, especially we get that really cold weather. It's after shotgun seasons. We'll get calls about deer that they find that are dead, whether they've been hit by a car, whether they were shot during deer season, that sort of thing. And there. So we get calls about that, about salvage deer.
Gotcha. John, always good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you.
Thanks for coming out. John Williamson, DNR Conservation Police Captain, my guest in studio. Network news on the way. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance.
WHOW.